Hello people, I'm the Real Comic Book Gamer. Today I'm going to be counting down my top 5 favorite Batman Superman storylines. So yeah, you're going to be seeing them punching each other a lot in the theater very soon. So I figured why not count down some of their best team ups. Granted, one of these does revolve around them fighting a bit, but majority of them, well, the rest of them are the two of them being buddies and being Batman and Superman and all that. So yeah, let's get into it. Number 5 is Batman Superman Siege. Now, this storyline is from the New 52. It's really good. The sort of goal of the storyline was to give Superman a Joker, because you have this guy hiding in the shadows. It's messing with him, going very personal with him. Like, these people are getting attacked that have some connections to Superman. You have no idea like how they're getting attacked, and then stuff happens. I won't spoil it. And the villain who's revealed is an old, longtime Superman villain, like a character from a long time ago. So it's cool to see them bring him back in the New 52. Also, Batman like smacks Superman's grandma aside the head with a club. I'm not joking about that. That happens. You'll have to read to find out how and why and stuff. But yes, that happens just out of nowhere. Batman just comes and smacks her in the head. And yeah, if that can't get you interested in reading this book, I don't know what will. But overall, it's really good. The art's cool. The writing's great. It's Greg Pak, and he's probably my favorite New 52 Superman writer. Does a good job, and the story is really interesting, and the reveal is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely check it out. Number 4 is another New 52 storyline, and that is Batman Superman Game Over. Now, this is a really good storyline, and my favorite part about it is probably the art by Brett Booth, because rarely do we ever get to see Brett Booth draw Batman Superman in the same comic. Generally, he just he drew Nightwing for a bit in New 52. He draws the Flash a lot, but rarely do we get to see him draw Batman Superman. So I loved it. He's a great artist, one of my favorites, and it's a really pretty book. Mongul shows up during this. We get a toy maker who created this game where you can sort of control Batman Superman through stuff happening, Batman gets defeated, and so, well, Mongul kills him, so he gets thrown into the game. He gets brought back as a sort of super-powered Batman, and so he's fighting Superman now, because the people are controlling him, and he's a super-powered Batman. Superman and Batman are fighting, and Mongul's also there, and Superman has no idea how he's gonna defeat Mongul, but then he figures out, it's like, the only way to, these people keep trying to attack me by controlling Batman and stuff. I know how to change all this. So what he does is he gets defeated by Batman. He just, Batman hits him and he sends himself to the ground. He's like, and Batman's like, you idiot. I know what you're doing, you idiot. And Superman's like, yeah, isn't this how you get in the game? You get defeated, then you get thrown in the game, people can control you. He's like, and Batman's like, you idiot. You just gave people control of the strongest man in the world. And Superman's like, yeah, but everyone knows after the two heroes fight, they team up and fight the villain. And that's what everyone's saying. So they control Batman and Superman, and they both go and fight Mongul. And it's pretty cool, and of course they win. And in the end, we get some cool dialogue between Batman and Superman. And Batman's like, this is why you scare people so much, Clark. You trust them too much. And Superman's like, yeah, but then we won. I do trust people and stuff like that. And it's great highlighting the differences between Batman and Superman, and I love the storyline. Also, it resembles what Batman v Superman looks like it's going to be, which is Batman and Superman fighting, and then in the end, they team up to fight a villain. Granted, these are way different circumstances, but yeah, it's a great New 52 storyline. Number 3 is Superman Batman Finest Worlds. Now, I finally found out that's the name of the whole storyline because, in the collected edition, because I've had the issues for years of this book. I love it. I've talked about it before on my channel, but I couldn't ever find the graphic novel. But it turns out it's with a bunch of other Batman and Superman issues that are all combined. It's called Finest Worlds, and this is one of the stories that takes place in it. Anyways, what happens is magic stuff happens with Silver Banshee, and Batman and Superman trade powers. Superman gets nothing in return. I don't know what I meant by trade power. Superman gets some power. No, Superman gets nothing. Batman gets Superman's power. So Superman trains Batman to use his powers because obviously he's new to them. He doesn't know how to control all of them, and he's training him. And Batman's like, okay, this is great. I can stop all the crime ever in the world. So Batman's plan during all this is to go around and wherever it's nighttime, stop crime there because he's Batman. He fights at night. He doesn't fight during the day. So he's like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do all that. He goes a little crazy. He just goes nuts because, constantly trying to stop crime, that does something to your brain. Batman's already crazy, but give him Superman's powers and to where he doesn't have to stop, he doesn't have to eat or sleep, then he just goes completely insane. He's trying to stop, he almost kills Bane. He punches a hole through Bane's stomach because Batman's kind of fed up, and again, he's going crazy at this point. And, later on, he almost kills Catwoman when he's stopping her, but then Nightwing stops him, and Nightwing's like, hey, you're going crazy, what's going on here? You need to stop. He starts fighting him, and Nightwing almost takes him down when he has Superman's powers. And the reason he almost took him down was because Batman had been fighting at night the entire time, and so, you know, Superman's powers are solar based, so he had not seen the sun in a while, so he was losing his powers. He goes back, recharges, fights the Justice League, and takes a lot of them down. Like, they don't really stand a chance against Batman with Superman's powers. Meanwhile, Clark is going around enjoying being a normal guy, spending time with his wife, Lois, and things are going great. But then someone's getting, like, mugged in an alley. He goes, and they're about to get shot. He takes the bullet for them, and so it looks like he might die, but then, you know, surgery happens, and he's fine. In the end, though, we see that Superman comes up with a plan to fool Batman. He has the help of Zatanna. He gets her because he's like, okay, I've got this idea. What he does is he gets Zatanna to use these projections of Bruce's parents, and so Bruce is like, you're here, what? You're fine, because, you know, the Justice League already tried to use brute force, didn't work, Batman beat the crap out of him, so now Superman came up with a plan. He's able to outsmart Batman through all this and get it to where Zatanna's able to do the ritual to where they switch powers back, and in the end, Superman's like, yeah, it's okay, Batman, you know, that wasn't you, that was just, you know, the powers switched you, and it was this weird magic thing, that wasn't you, and Batman's like, that's an excuse, I let the powers consume me, that was not good, I went crazy. So, what I like about seeing about this storyline is the fact that we get to see Superman without powers doing stuff. Like, he was able to defeat a Batman with powers and no one else could. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, it answers the question of a lot of people think Superman's selfish for having a life outside of Superman. Like, why isn't he constantly saving people? That's stupid. That's because if he is, he turns into what Batman did. Batman constantly tried to stop crime, and he went crazy. You have to have some downtime. And yeah, just overall, I really love the storyline. The art's okay. It's decent enough for the storyline. It's not amazing, but it's not great either. It's pretty good. The writing was really good. I loved it. And it was a cool, new, interesting storyline, something that hadn't really ever been tackled before, and I just really enjoyed it. Number 2 is Superman Batman, The Search for Kryptonite. Now, I like this one barely more than Finest Worlds. It was hard deciding my number 2 and number 3 picks. I didn't know which one I liked better, but then I decided, you know, I'd Search for Kryptonite, I think I like a little bit better. So basically what happens is, in the opening of this book, Superman and Batman are laughing because they're watching the filming of this, like, Superman movie, and they think it's funny, you know, hey, they're making a movie about us, and then this guy brings out Kryptonite, and then Livewire attacks, and Superman's like, I got this, she's a B-list villain. He goes there, but the guy who brought out Kryptonite as a prop, Livewire explodes it, shards of it go into Superman's face, because it turns out it's real Kryptonite. And so, in the end, Superman's fine with all that. Superman's fine and everything, but after all that whole thing happening, Superman's like, if just a guy on a movie set can get kryptonite because he wanted something to be more authentic in the movie, that means there's way too much of it. Anyone can get it. It's not hard to get at all. So, kryptonite used to be rare. It used to be like only Lex Luthor and stuff could get it. But now everyone's got it. It's not hard to get at all. So he goes to Batman. He's like, I want you to help me try and get all the kryptonite on the world and destroy it, so that way it's safer for me to do my job. Batman agrees. They go on an adventure, basically go everywhere, including Atlantis. They also fight a Doomsday that's, like, infused with kryptonite, basically. It's this guy who's experimented on to become like Doomsday except with kryptonite, and that's an interesting issue. They fight Aquaman because they go down to Atlantis and try to get a huge chunk of kryptonite. Aquaman's like, you're taking part of my city, and they're like, there's no city here, dude. But Aquaman's, it's part of the ocean, so it's mine, and so they fight, and Superman ends up beating the crap out of Aquaman, which I think is pretty cool because they're fighting and Aquaman's like beating on Superman, and then Batman's fighting like the other Atlanteans, and Batman's just like, end this to Superman because he's tired of fighting. He's like, Superman, just end this. So he's like, okay. Superman uses his heat vision and just blasts Aquaman. Aquaman's like, okay, yeah, I can take it. That's fine. But in the end, they get like all the kryptonite. They put it in a giant bunker thing and they throw it into the sun. So it's all gone except for some of it, which Superman gives to Batman because he knows that there has to be some, so that way they can still stop him just in case if he goes crazy, because Superman gets mind controlled every other Tuesday. It's a lazy writing thing that writers just like, but what should we do? Let's have Superman get mind controlled. So that happens a lot. So of course kryptonite is needed, and they gave all the kryptonite to Batman. Batman's got one of each kind of kryptonite. Also, a new kind of kryptonite was introduced in this book. It's like this silver magic kryptonite, which I really loved because it makes to where Superman feels like a kid again. Like, everyone around him is their kid versions, and he goes crazy. Like, Superman's playing video games, eating cereal, and he thought everyone was like little kids, and he's like, you guys are messed up. It was a hilarious issue. But anyways, overall, love the storyline. You guys should definitely check it out. Number 1 is Superman Batman Public Enemies. Now, I love this book so much. It's very near and dear to my heart. It was the first ever graphic novel that I read. Prior to it, I read all books in just single issues, but this was the first actual graphic novel I read, and I loved it. It is the quintessential Superman Batman book. It's the best team up they've ever had, in my opinion. I love it. You get to see how these characters are. It's Jeff Loeb at the top of his game. The banter between Batman and Superman is great. You get to see how, like, in their mind, they're thinking, like, the complete opposite of each other, and I love it so much. A lot of characters appear. It's sort of a big blockbuster-y type action book as well. It's amazing. Like, I love it so much. It's so much fun. So the storyline here is this giant kryptonite meteor is coming for Earth, and Lex Luthor's president, so he's like, hey, it's coming because it's coming after Superman. It's locking onto Superman. You guys should hate him and go after him. So he puts up a huge bounty on Superman's head. It's like, you know, any of you supervillains that want to go and give me Superman on a platter, that's good. You know, give me his head on a platter. That's all great. You guys will get paid for it, and that'll stop the meteor from coming at us. So tons of villain comes after Superman, and Batman and Superman, this is when, pre-New 52, this is when they were best friends, best buddies. So Batman's like, I ain't gonna let anyone mess my best buddy. So he teams up with Superman. He's like, I'll help you take these guys out. They fight. It's awesome. I mean, they fight a bunch of villains. It's amazing. I love it. It's so great. And in the end, their hero, who is, you know, Toy Master, Toy Maker, which I was talking about before, he creates this giant ship that's able to fly up and destroy the meteor. Superman's like, it's my responsibility. I'm gonna drive it. But then Captain Atom shows up and is like, nah, I'm gonna drive it. Superman's like, I'm not gonna let you do that. But then Captain Atom takes a kryptonite ring, uses his power to make it like 1,000 times more powerful, and it knocks out Superman. And so then he goes and he's like, I'm flying that ship to Batman. Batman's like, that's okay with me, man. And so Captain Atom goes up there and he flies the ship, ends up being sort of a martyr and destroying it. And yeah, so that's how it ends. It's a great storyline. There's also a Batman v Superman fight in this. A future Superman shows up, a Superman that actually flew the ship into the kryptonite and stuff. He did some things, and he was like, I'm the only one that survives that kryptonite meteor. Like, it's not good. And so he came back to try to kill Batman and Superman. He's like, you guys are going to be the downfall of all this. And so he tries to kill Batman and Superman. In the end of that fight, future Superman beats the crap out of Batman. It's about to kill him and beat the crap out of present Superman. But then Superman takes kryptonite, loads it into a shotgun, shoots him, and is able to save himself and Batman. But anyways, Superman Batman Public Enemies is my number 1 Batman Superman book. It's amazing. I love it so much. You guys should definitely read it if you have not. If you have seen the movie and think, nah, I don't need to read the book, you are completely wrong. Public Enemies as a book is way better than the movie, because the movie took hardly anything from the comics. They changed a lot, and it made it way worse. But yeah, go read Public Enemies. That's basically the point of this. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments below what are you guys' favorite Batman Superman books. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like.
Hey, I wanna go like Lana Del Rey. I see her in my mind.